Hi guys, it's Abu Pasha here again in my conservatory. The previous video I did was showing the most affordable places to live around London for those who are commuting into London. And I went through the best places to live for those who are on average salaries, a family of 4. In this video we're going to change it up a little. We're going to go over areas in London where there is no budget limit, so for those who are quite well off. In the top left hand corner, by the way, you'll see the area name and also the cheapest rental property in that area for a family of 4. So sit back, relax and enjoy the show. Some of you want to know, if you have a bigger budget, what are the nicest places in London to live? But I live in London, I've lived in London most of my life, so I know the areas, what they're like. So what I did was that I did some research and there seems to be a really good list that I agree with. The link of this webpage is going to be in the description. All web pages that I use, links in the description. This webpage lists family-friendly neighbourhoods to live in London. So the first one is Richmond. This is in southwest London. It is a decent area, I'm not doubting that, but the transportation is not that great in this area. So I wouldn't live there. I live in northwest London, and if you told me to move there, I wouldn't. If you told me that you would give me 50% discount on all my mortgage payments, rent, whatever, I still wouldn't move to Richmond, simply because of the transportation. It doesn't work for me. Transportation is very important to me, and South London tends to have weaker transportation. So Richmond, nice area though. A lot of people I know, a lot of well-to-do people, they live in this area. Maida Vale, St John's Wood, very nice area. Right, this gets thumbs up for me. If you can afford to live in Maida Vale, you've got the thumbs up for me. And here is some footage that I got from Google Street View. You can see what the roads are like in Maida Vale. It's a relatively residential area, but bear in mind that you are very, very close to Zone 1 in central London. And in Zone 1, basically all the shops are available to you. The transport facilities are also excellent. You've got regular buses that go pretty much everywhere around London. And of course you've got Maida Vale tube station, which gets you into central London within 10 minutes or so. I'll give you an idea of how much you would expect to pay. So this is going to be a 3-bedroom property, and you can see the lowest price is £2,600 for a 3-bed flat in Maida Vale, near Maida Vale tube station. £2,600, that's how much it costs. Chiswick. Again, Chiswick is sort of West London and it's pretty central, so it gets my thumbs up. Would I live there? No, I just don't like it personally, but I do know that it's a decent area. And here we see some footage of what the streets are like in Chiswick. Stoke Newington. I don't know much about Stoke Newington, so I can't really comment, but I can certainly tell you how much it'll cost to live there. Lowest price is £2,600. Right, and this is fairly central. It's in North London, and again it's the same price as Maida Vale. If I were you, I would choose Maida Vale. It's just a better area. Right, then we've got Hampstead. Hampstead, very nice area. It's a leafy suburb, and millionaires tend to live in Hampstead. And as you can see here on the map, Hampstead is relatively close to central London. It's about, 15-20 minute bus ride into central London. And here we can see what the streets look like in Hampstead. Nothing special, but it's an okay neighbourhood. And you can see the price. The cheapest 3-bedroom property is £2,925. So this is very expensive. Millionaires tend to live in Hampstead. Notting Hill, right, Notting Hill, very expensive. This is basically central London, Notting Hill is. And you can see from the map here as well, Notting Hill Gate basically is central London. And here is a street view of Notting Hill. Very nice area, nice shops, expensive shops. Yep, it's well connected. Because it's central London, you've got tube stations, you've got plenty of buses. Good area, expensive area. I actually don't like living in central London because it's too busy. There's too many cars going by. In terms of price, let me see, Notting Hill Gate Station, you're looking at 2,900, basically £3,000 for a 3-bedroom flat. But if you like central London, Notting Hill Gate, great place. Kensington, yes, thumbs up. This is fairly central. This is just packed with millionaires. Kensington is basically central London. Nice streets, nice houses. It's a very desirable area. If you can afford it and you really like to live in a central area, I would go for Kensington. And I'm going to show you the kind of prices that we're looking at. And you can already see £3,445 per month for a 3-bedroom masonette. So basically £3,500. Primrose Hill. I don't know much about Primrose Hill. Let me check it out for you. Primrose Hill doesn't seem to even have a station. And let's see the lowest price property. Yep, so it's £3,250. That's for a 3-bedroom flat. Right, 3,250. So it's quite expensive. And Primrose Hill is quite central. It's just north of central London. Right, this is a short bus ride away from central London. So this is central London right here, and that's Primrose Hill. That's where the property is. It is quite expensive. I would choose Kensington. If you really want somewhere central, I'd go with Kensington. Although I actually do like Maida Vale as well. Then we've got Battersea. I used to live in South London, which is very close to Battersea, and I used to cycle through Battersea. I didn't like Battersea. I didn't think there was anything special about it. It was relatively expensive, which is why I completely discounted it when I was looking to buy a property to live in. Of all the areas that I chose Northwest London because that just worked best for me. I did not want Battersea simply because there was no underground station. Now there is an underground station. I'm going to show you what is in Battersea and what sort of price we're looking at. And you can see that you're looking at £2,800 per calendar month to live there. So it's slightly cheaper than Kensington and Primrose Hill. Slightly cheaper. Hampstead is way expensive. If you really like South London, by all means do live in Battersea. There's nothing wrong with it, but I wouldn't choose that. For me, Kensington and Maida Vale will be far better, and they're equally close and easy to get into central London, and you're going to be paying similar prices or maybe just slightly more. And then finally we've got Hillingdon. I live very close to Hillingdon. I live in Harrow, and I will show you what is available. Hillingdon Station. They've got one property that was available for £1,200, but the letter's been agreed. You can see that in Hillingdon, when a property goes up for rent, it gets rented out real quick. You can see that all these are let agreed. The property that's available is this one for £1,750, and that's quite a lot cheaper than, say, Kensington or Battersea or Primrose Hill or Hampstead. Or Stoke Newington even. They're a lot cheaper than that. Right, so this is definitely an area I would look into. The only issue that you've got with Hillingdon is that it takes roughly 30 minutes or so to get into central London. So you take the underground and you can be in central London in 30 minutes. The high street isn't as big as, say, Harrow, so what people tend to do is that you might live in Hillingdon, and when you need to go to a big shopping centre or high street, you go to Uxbridge or to Harrow, by train, 10 minutes away. A decent area. I prefer Harrow though, and I also prefer Uxbridge. What I'll do is I'll put a link of this website in the description so you can check it out yourself. These are all decent places to live. If you have a bigger budget, by all means, do consider all these areas. Do consider Maida Vale, Kensington, Hampstead if you can afford it, and certainly Hillingdon or even Harrow, which is basically where I live. All these places are very nice and you will not be disappointed. So that's the end of the video. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.